This is the part 1, using timer to create a delay polling approach. I have used pin number 1, PA1. The configuration for LED pins. Here I have enabled the GPIO clock. Pin A1 is set to output. Configuration timer 2 as per delay. Here the prescaler is set to 3999, which when put in the formula will give us the 1 kilohertz timer. The auto reload register is also calculated as per that, where 1000 clicks give us 1 second. The timer is set and the timer is reset and timer is enabled for to start counting. When going into the main function, it configures the LED and the timer for delay. When entering the while loop, the timer counter starts as soon as the timer counter hits 1000. uh, Timer counter hits 1000, the timer goes into overflow and UIF gets triggered. Once that is triggered, then the counter stops. It gets out of this while loop. The We reset the flag. We reset the timer to SR update flag. It toggles the LED and goes back into this loop. Here is the practical demonstration where the yellow LED has been blinking for with a 1 second interval. This is the part 2, using timer to create a delay interrupt approach. The LED configuration is same as before. The pin number 1 is set at output and the clock is enabled. For timer 2, the clock is enabled. Prescaler is at 3999 for 1 kilohertz, and the ARR is set at 1000, is set at 999 to get 1000 counts for 1 second. The counter is set at 0, is reset to 0. We have enabled update interrupt UIE. We have enabled the nested vector interrupt controller in order to trigger the interrupts. Here the timer starts. Enable the counter. This is the interrupt service routine where it checks the interrupt updated interrupt flag, clears the flag, and then toggles the LED. When we start the code in the main, when we configure the two timers, during the configuration itself, the timer gets started with this line. Every time the counter reaches 100, the update interrupt flag gets triggered and the LED gets toggled. Here is the practical demonstration where we have used the same setup but using a different method to toggle the LED. This is the part 3, using a timer in capture mode. Here is the LED configuration set to output mode and the button input initializations, where it's been set to an alternative function so that we can get timer input. We can set it into timer capture mode. This is the timer delay. The prescaler and ARR settings has been changed to 3999 and 999 respectively. The main change comes in the interrupt handler, where in order to synchronize the timer with our delay, we have to divide it by 200. Here is a practical demonstration. As we can see, the LED is toggling as per the delay set by button input. This is the part 4, using timer in capture mode. The pin LED configuration is set as over here. We are using the pin 5 as output. The button configuration as well. We have used an alternative function to use it as a timer. In the timer delay configuration, we are setting the prescaler to 0 so that we can use 4 megahertz as it is. The ARR is set to maximum value so that we can use the entire range of the ARR instead of limiting ourselves. The counter is set to 0 and the counter is enabled. When we initialize to channel 2, the settings also remain the same as in the previous code. In the IRQ handler, in this code, instead of using a separate variable to calculate how long the button was pressed, we are using the timer counter register and reducing the time with how long was it held. We get the value, place it in ARR, that will give us the value of that will update the value of new ARR and how much time the delay is supposedly there. This is the mean void mean, and this is the practical demonstration. Right now, since the ARR value set at maximum, the delay time is also set at maximum. But when we press the button, as we can see, the delay time has switched has changed to the number of time we have held the button. In this code, there is no synchronization issue since the prescale is set to 0, allowing the timer to run at maximum speed. And the ARR is also, since ARR is set to maximum, there is no prerequisite value